Anna's phone rang for the 5th time that morning. Collections. Again. She didn't answer. She knew exactly what they'd say. She was 60 days past due on 3 credit cards, 30 days on a personal loan, and medical bills were heading to collections. Total debt, $10,347 spread across 7 different creditors. Her minimum payments alone were $473 monthly, money she didn't have on her $2,600 salary as a retail manager. The anxiety was suffocating. She couldn't sleep without her mind racing through numbers and worst-case scenarios. Every phone call sent panic through her chest. Every mail delivery might bring another collections letter. Anna had been living with this debt for 3 years, watching it grow despite making minimum payments. The interest charges alone were eating $135 monthly, money disappearing into nothing while the principal barely moved. That night, sitting on her bathroom floor at 2 a.m. during another anxiety attack, Anna made a decision. She would eliminate every single dollar of debt. No matter what it took, she had no extra income, no savings, no financial education. She tried budgeting before and failed. But this time felt different, because continuing to live with this crushing anxiety wasn't sustainable. Anna grabbed her laptop and searched how to pay off $10,000 in debt fast. She found debt snowball methods, aggressive payoff strategies, stories of people who'd eliminated massive debt in months instead of years. She gave herself a goal, debt-free in 12 months. $10,347 eliminated in 365 days. It seemed impossible, but impossible felt better than drowning slowly for another 3 years. Anna's debt hadn't appeared overnight. It had accumulated over 3 years through a combination of bad decisions, emergencies, and financial ignorance. 27 years old, working as a retail store manager making $2,600 monthly before taxes, which became roughly $2,000 after deductions. Her journey into debt had started small and grown steadily worse. First, a credit card with a $500 limit for emergencies only. Then a second card with a $1,000 limit for a car repair she couldn't afford. Then a third card to pay off the minimum on the first 2 when money got tight. Then a $2,000 personal loan to consolidate some of the credit card debt, except she didn't close the credit cards, so they filled back up. Then medical bills from an emergency room visit when she didn't have insurance, $2,300 that went to collections when she couldn't pay. Each decision had made sense in the moment. Each had seemed like solving a problem. But collectively, they created a nightmare. 7 different creditors, $10,347 total, minimum payments of $473 monthly that she often couldn't fully cover. The collections calls had started 6 months ago, when she'd missed payments completely during a slow retail season with reduced hours. Now they called daily, sometimes multiple times per day, demanding payment she didn't have. Anna had stopped answering her phone entirely. She communicated only through text. She dreaded checking her mail. She'd developed actual physical symptoms from the stress, insomnia, stomach problems, constant anxiety, occasional panic attacks. The debt was destroying not just her finances but her mental and physical health. That bathroom floor moment at 2 a.m. was the breaking point. The moment when continuing as she was became more unbearable than the discomfort of changing everything. Anna's first step was facing the complete truth. No more avoiding, no more denial. She created a comprehensive debt inventory that took 3 painful hours. Credit card 1, Visa $3,212 at 22.9% APR. Minimum payment $112. Credit card 2, MasterCard $2,789 at 19.9% APR. Minimum payment $97. Credit card 3, Store card $1,533 at 26.9% APR. Minimum payment $67. Personal loan $1,850 at 14% APR. Minimum payment $89. Medical bills, collections $2,340. No interest but damaging credit. Minimum demanded payment $108. Total $10,724. Even more than she'd thought once she included fees and new interest. Monthly minimums $473. Her income after taxes $2,000. Rent $850. Utilities and phone $140. Car insurance and gas $230. Groceries $250. That was $1,470 in essential expenses, leaving $530. After minimum debt payments of $473, she had exactly $57 monthly for everything else: clothing, medical, personal care, emergencies, anything. No wonder she'd been drowning. The math literally didn't work. To become debt-free in 12 months, Anna needed to pay $893 monthly toward debt, $420 more than her current minimums. She'd have to either earn $420 more per month, cut $420 from expenses, or both. Anna chose both. She implemented extreme frugality immediately. Groceries cut from $250 to $120 monthly through meal planning, rice and beans, zero waste. Entertainment and subscriptions completely eliminated, $65 monthly saved. She moved from her one-bedroom apartment to a studio 3 miles farther from work, $190 monthly saved. She sold everything non-essential on Facebook Marketplace. Furniture, clothes, electronics, kitchen items, generated $740 upfront to throw at debt immediately. Total monthly savings through cuts, $275. She still needed $145 more monthly to hit her $893 debt payment target. To generate the additional $145 monthly, plus ideally more to accelerate payoff, Anna needed supplemental income. Her retail manager position allowed some flexibility, but working more hours there wasn't an option due to company hour caps. She explored side hustles that could work around her existing 40-hour retail schedule. The solution came through multiple small income streams rather than one large source. First, she signed up for Instacart and DoorDash, committing to working 10 hours weekly on her days off, Saturday and Sunday mornings. That generated approximately $120 weekly or $480 monthly after gas. Second, she picked up a weekend morning shift at a local coffee shop from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sundays. 4 hours at $12 per hour equals $48 weekly or $192 monthly. Third, she started donating plasma twice weekly at $45 per donation, $90 weekly or $360 monthly. Fourth, she offered her services on Nextdoor for basic house cleaning, organization, and pet sitting, averaging 2 jobs per month at $50 each equals $100 monthly. Total additional monthly income, $480 plus $192 plus $360 plus $100 equals $1,132. Combined with the $275 saved through expense cuts, Anna now had $1,407 extra monthly to attack her debt beyond the original $473 in minimums she'd been barely paying. Her new aggressive debt payment capacity, $1,880 monthly. At that rate, she could eliminate $10,724 in approximately 6 months instead of 12. The realization was staggering. She'd been drowning for 3 years, and with extreme changes, she could be free in half a year. But the price was steep. Anna was now working approximately 75 hours weekly across all income sources, sleeping about 5 to 6 hours nightly, living on $120 monthly for food, and had eliminated everything that wasn't essential to survival or debt elimination. The first month was brutal physically and emotionally, but on day 31, Anna made her first massive debt payment using the snowball method. She put $1,880 toward her smallest debt, the $1,533 store card, eliminating it completely and having $347 left to attack the next smallest debt. The debt snowball method became Anna's psychological lifeline. Instead of paying all debts proportionally, she focused all extra money on the smallest balance while maintaining minimums on others. The approach created quick wins that maintained motivation. Month 1, store card $1,533 eliminated completely. Month 2, medical bills $2,340 paid in full, using that month's $1,880 plus the rollover from previous debt. 2 creditors gone. 5 remaining. Month 3, credit card $2,789. Attacked with full force, $1,880 payment brought it down to $909. Month 4, credit card 2 completely eliminated with $909. leaving $971 to attack credit card 3. For creditors eliminated, 3 remaining. The psychological impact was profound. Anna had lived with 7 creditors harassing her for 6 months. Now, for months into her aggressive plan, 4 were gone completely. The collections calls had stopped for those accounts. Her credit report was slowly improving. Most importantly, she could see the end. It wasn't theoretical anymore. But the physical and emotional toll was severe. Anna had lost 18 pounds from stress and minimal food budget. She was exhausted constantly from 75-hour work weeks and 5-hour sleep nights. Her social life was non-existent. She declined every invitation for 4 months, and friends had stopped asking. She hadn't bought new clothes, gone to a movie, or done anything purely for enjoyment in 120 days. The only thing keeping her going was watching those balances hit zero. One evening after a particularly brutal 14-hour workday, spanning her retail job, Instacart shift, and plasma donation, Anna broke down crying in her car. She was 4 months into a journey that was working perfectly on paper but destroying her in reality. She called her mom, who she'd avoided telling about the debt situation out of shame. "Mom, I'm $10,000 in debt, and I'm killing myself trying to pay it off, and I don't know if I can keep doing this." Her mother's response surprised her. "You've already paid off $4,000 in 4 months. That's incredible. But honey, this doesn't have to be a 6-month sprint. It can be a 12-month marathon. Slow down a little. You'll still get there." Anna's mother's words forced a recalibration. She'd been operating at unsustainable intensity because she wanted the pain to end as quickly as possible. But her mom was right. Burning out completely wouldn't help anyone. Anna adjusted her approach. She dropped the Sunday morning coffee shop shift, saving 4 hours weekly and maintaining sanity while losing $192 monthly income. She reduced plasma donations from twice weekly to once weekly, losing $180 monthly but getting rest and recovery time. She limited Instacart to 8 hours weekly instead of 10, losing roughly $80 monthly income. Total income reduction, $452 monthly. Her new monthly debt payment capacity, $1,428 instead of $1,880. This would extend her debt-free timeline from 6 months to approximately 8 months. Still dramatically better than the original 12-month goal and infinitely better than the never trajectory she'd been on before starting. The modified pace was still aggressive but sustainable. Anna was working 55 hours weekly instead of 75, sleeping 6 to 7 hours instead of 5, and had slightly more margin for mental health. She was still frugal, still focused, still committed, but no longer destroying herself. By month 6, Anna had eliminated $6,200 of her debt. Remaining balance, $4,524 across 3 creditors. At $1,428 monthly, she'd be debt-free by month 9 or 10. The end was visible and achievable without complete self-destruction. Something else happened in month 6. Anna started feeling hope instead of just desperation. For the first time in 3 years, she could imagine a life without debt. She could imagine answering her phone without anxiety. She could imagine checking her mail without dread. She could imagine having money left over after expenses and debt payments. That hope became fuel more powerful than desperation had been. Desperation had gotten her started. Hope would carry her to the finish. Month 8 brought an unexpected test. Anna's car needed a major repair, $1,200 for transmission work. The old Anna would have put this on a credit card without thinking. The new Anna had to make a harder choice. Use $1,200 from her debt payment fund for the repair, extending her debt-free date by nearly a month, or risk the car breaking down completely and losing her ability to work her income-generating side hustles. She chose to pay for the repair with saved debt payment money. It was the right decision, but it hurt emotionally. She'd been on track to be debt-free by month 9, and this pushed it to month 10. The setback taught her an important lesson. Emergencies will always happen. Debt payoff isn't a straight line. Building an emergency fund while attacking debt, even a small one of $500 to $1,000, would have prevented this derailment. Anna adjusted her strategy again. Instead of throwing every dollar at debt, she started putting $100 monthly into a basic emergency fund while paying $1,328 toward debt. This reduced her payoff speed slightly but created a buffer against future surprises. By month 10, despite the car repair setback, Anna had reduced her debt to $1,897. One final debt remaining, the personal loan that had started at $1,850 but had grown to $1,897 with accumulated interest during the months she'd been paying minimums only while attacking other debts. She could pay it off completely with one more month of her $1,328 payment, plus the remaining $569 from the following month. But Anna decided to do something different. She'd been operating in extreme frugality for 10 months. She'd lost touch with friends, declined every social invitation, lived on rice and beans, worn the same worn-out clothes. She decided to take 1 month to breathe before the final push, still paying the $1,328 toward debt, but also spending $150 on herself. Dinner with friends she'd been avoiding, new shoes to replace the ones with holes, a movie, small pleasures she'd forgotten existed. The debt would take 1 extra month to eliminate completely, but Anna would arrive at debt freedom as a functional human being instead of an exhausted shell. Month 12, exactly 1 year after Anna had committed to debt freedom, she made the final payment. $1,897 transferred to the personal loan account. Balance, $0.00. Anna stared at the confirmation screen for a long time, unable to fully process what it meant. 12 months ago, $10,724 in debt, 7 creditors harassing her, crippling anxiety, insomnia, panic attacks, felt trapped forever. Today, $0 in debt, 0 creditors, phone anxiety gone, mail dread gone, first full night of sleep in years. She'd eliminated $10,724 in debt in 12 months through extreme discipline, multiple income streams, radical frugality, and refusing to quit despite setbacks and exhaustion. But the numbers told only part of the story. The real transformation was psychological. Anna had spent 3 years believing debt was permanent, that she was bad with money, that she'd always be trapped. 12 months had shattered those beliefs completely. She wasn't bad with money. She'd just never been taught how to manage it or given herself permission to make it a priority. Debt wasn't permanent. It was eliminable through consistent action. She wasn't trapped. She'd been capable of escaping all along and simply hadn't tried. The year had been brutal. She'd worked 75-hour weeks for months. She'd lived on $120 monthly for food. She'd sold possessions. She'd sacrificed social life and hobbies. She'd cried in her car multiple times from exhaustion and overwhelm. But she'd also discovered capabilities she never knew existed. The ability to generate over $1,000 monthly in supplemental income, the discipline to maintain extreme frugality for 12 months, the strategic thinking to optimize debt payoff methods, the resilience to continue after setbacks like the car repair. Those capabilities hadn't been dormant talents. They'd been created through necessity and action. Anna hadn't known she could do any of this until she had to. That knowledge that she could accomplish seemingly impossible goals through sustained effort was more valuable than being debt-free, because it meant she'd never feel powerless again. 3 months after becoming debt-free, Anna's life had transformed in ways beyond eliminating $10,724. She'd maintained her modified work schedule, still doing Instacart 8 hours weekly and plasma donations once weekly, but now the $1,000 monthly from those sources went into savings instead of debt. She'd kept her frugal habits, the studio apartment, meal planning, eliminated subscriptions, intentional spending. Combined with her retail manager salary and side income, Anna was now saving $1,200 monthly. In 3 months, she'd built a $3,600 emergency fund, more money saved than she'd ever had in her life. By month 6 post-debt freedom, she had $7,200 saved. She started researching investing and opened a Roth IRA, contributing $250 monthly. Her net worth had gone from negative $10,724 to positive $7,200 in 18 total months, a $17,924 swing. But the most significant change was internal. Anna no longer feared her phone ringing. She checked her mail without anxiety. She slept through the night. She could afford to say yes when friends invited her out. She felt in control of her financial life for the first time ever. She also started helping others. She shared her complete debt payoff story in a financial freedom Facebook group, including her exact strategy, income sources, budget, timeline, and setbacks. The post went viral, over 2,000 comments and 400 shares. People in debt situations identical to where Anna had been reached out desperately. I have $9,000 in debt and I feel hopeless. I don't know where to start. Is this really possible? Anna spent hours responding, sharing her spreadsheets, encouraging them, proving it was possible. 6 months later, she started receiving messages. I followed your plan and paid off my first debt. I'm 3 months in and I've eliminated $2,000. You showed me this was achievable. Anna realized her story wasn't just about her anymore. It was proof for everyone drowning in debt that escape was possible. Not easy, not comfortable, but possible through strategic planning and relentless execution. On the 1-year anniversary of her final debt payment, Anna wrote a reflection that she posted publicly. 1 year ago today, I made my last debt payment after 12 months of the hardest work of my life. I eliminated $10,724 through extreme discipline, multiple jobs, brutal frugality, and refusing to quit. Today, I have $7,200 saved and I sleep peacefully every night. Debt freedom isn't about the money. It's about reclaiming your peace, your power, and your future. If you're in debt and feel hopeless, you're not trapped. The prison is real, but the door is unlocked. You just have to be brave enough to walk through it. It will be hard. You'll want to quit. You'll cry in your car. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But on the other side is a version of you who sleeps peacefully, answers the phone without fear, and knows that you're capable of overcoming anything. That version is waiting. The question is whether you'll do the work to meet them. The post received 3,000 comments, but the one that mattered most was from a woman who wrote, I just made my first debt payment, $1,000 down, $9,000 to go. Thank you for showing me this is possible. I'll see you on the other side. Anna smiled, remembering the terrified woman on the bathroom floor 12 months ago who'd made the same commitment. That woman had become free, and now she was helping others find their path to freedom. Sometimes $10,000 in debt is the catalyst that reveals you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. You just have to be desperate enough or brave enough to start.